Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing some investing. So right now is the beginning of the year and I normally save for my Roth IRA throughout the year. And then at the beginning of the year, I invest all of that amount. And the reason I do that is because I do something known as a backdoor Roth IRA, which is basically converting a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. And the reason to do that is if you are over the IRA limit set by the government. And currently I am kind of in between. My base salary, I would not be over the limit. However, if I choose to work more than that, I could be over the limit. So I just decide to do a Roth so that I'm not hit with a penalty at the end of the year. If you do not make over the limit, then you can just contribute to a Roth IRA on a monthly, weekly, however amount of time as you want to contribute up to the limit, you can do that. But for people that are over the income limit, this is a way to get around having a Roth. So we're going to get right into it. So this is going to be the conversion part. The investing part will follow shortly, but for those that this is applicable to, I thought I'd go through it. So I have already transferred money from my savings account, which is where I save on a monthly basis for this Roth IRA. So I have already transferred it into my traditional IRA and here it is now. So the limit for 2025 is $7,000. So we're going to hit convert to Roth IRA. And then Vanguard does a particularly good job of explaining to you the considerations if you're going to be converting your IRA from a traditional to a Roth. So that is very helpful if this is your first time doing it, but I have done this before, so we're just gonna keep going. So start my Roth conversion. It talks about the tax implications, which is an important one, is that you cannot have already had another type of IRA, such as a traditional IRA with money in it when you do this. So it's best not to have that, or there's some weird tax implications which I don't know about because I've never been in that situation, but it is something to consider. So it says agree to proceed without tax withholdings, which just means if you had not paid tax on this money, which in my case I have, this is after tax money that I have contributed to the traditional IRA, then you will have to pay taxes. So we're just talking about the IRA that I currently have and the balance. Then we're going to hit continue. Want to convert all of the account, and it's talking about the current IRA which I have, and I don't need a notice because I've already done this before. So let's move on. And apparently this is permanent, which has no bearing on me, but is something to be aware of. And now it has been converted. So now when I go to my account, all the money should be in my Roth IRA, and then we can start investing. Okay, so the $7,000 is now in the Roth IRA, and now we're gonna do the fun part, which is to buy some stocks. So right now it is 3 p.m. so the markets are open, so this should be pretty frictionless. These are the stocks that I have in my Roth IRA. So I have the S&P 500, a small cap exchange traded fund, consumer staples, mid-cap funds, utilities, the total US stock market, the total international stock market, and then a high dividend yield account. In addition to NVIDIA, I have as well. So I would like to purchase, let's do, so something new, or a new stock that I wanted to invest in this time around was Eli Lilly, and that is a pharmaceutical company. They are one of the many that have been developing GLP-1 drugs, which I feel has potential for growth once the healthcare hurdles are overcome, or the health insurance hurdles. So I think there's money to be made there. So I'm going to invest some money in that, not all of the $7,000, of course, because that would be too risky for me actually. But let's get started here. So we're gonna hit trade stocks and securities, and then I believe the ticker symbol is LLY. Yes, so Eli Lilly and Co. And we want to buy. So right now the stock is priced at $795.69, which is very high. You can, however, purchase dollar amounts versus actual shares. So I think I am going to purchase like $1,000 of this. Actually, this is interesting. So it turns out that you cannot buy partial shares of an actual stock on here for some reason. I feel like I've done that before. You can only buy shares. I don't know if that is a policy of Vanguard specifically, but yeah, so we're just gonna buy one share. So hit submit and we're done there. Now we have $6,204 and some change left to work with. So I think I would like to buy some more NVIDIA stock because I definitely think that has room to grow as well. So currently NVIDIA stock is $136 and it's actually down. It's highly volatile because any slight news or presentation by the CEO or anything sends the stock like wild, but regardless of that, I think the fundamentals are there. So we will buy some stocks. So once again, you can only buy in shares. So I'm gonna buy 10 shares, which equals to be $1,362. And now we are left with $4,842. So let's see if there's anything else I'm thinking to buy. I was also thinking of getting some Hermes stock as well. So let's do some Hermes stock here. I have some Hermes stock in my taxable brokerage account, but that does not get funded to the same degree as this. Like I never have like thousands of dollars to put into it. So it's nice to have this Roth IRA with a one-time contribution. So let us buy some Hermes stock. And I've talked about Hermes stock before and luxury stocks. I definitely think while some luxury is doing poorly, like Gucci for instance, Hermes once again has like the fundamentals and the cult like obsession that I feel as though there's room for it to go up. So let us do that. I do not recall the ticker symbol for Hermes though, so we're going to search. And you have to be kind of careful here because there are several stocks that are called Hermes. So actually it turns out you cannot buy Hermes stocks in this account. So that's interesting. That Vanguard has all these weird restrictions. So we will not be buying that today. Now let's move back and see what else we can buy. So I think the restriction is because it is an international company and there's all sorts of tax implications for that. So perhaps they don't want to deal with that, or perhaps Roth IRAs aren't regulated for that. I do not know the answer to that. But let's move on, see what else we can buy. I am thinking about purchasing some more utility stock. This is also in relation to the whole AI phenomenon. These type of companies are poised to benefit from that if it does produce all this productivity that they believe that it can. So I'm going to buy a little bit more of that. That is $163. So let's do $1,000 of this. So I feel like we used to could once again, even with the ETF, that is an actual Vanguard ETF, it says you can do it with Vanguard ETFs, but however, when I'm buying a Vanguard ETF, it's still requiring me to buy the shares and not the dollar amount. So we're just gonna do that. So $1,144, preview order and submit order. So now we have $3,699 left. Let's see, is there anything else here that I'm enthused about? Not really. I'm gonna quickly check. I have a list of stocks that I've been considering buying, but none of them seem that exciting. So I think I'll buy one more of Eli Lilly just to make it above 1,000. So now we're left with $2,904, and I am going to put that all into, this is a mutual fund here, so this is S&P 500. So we're going to put all of that in here. So you get some information about my current balance, the shares, how much it actually is right now. So we want to have all of this converted to this. So let's see here. Okay, so now you can see that we have $0 left to trade. So we have invested everything, or all $7,000 today, which we'll see how that progresses in the upcoming year. So my investment philosophy is, of course, I've mentioned this before, I have a video about investing and how to do it to build wealth. There are, of course, ways to do it where you could build lots of wealth or you could lose all your wealth. I prefer the medium route of just buying and holding quality stocks. So normally I purchase mutual funds or exchange traded funds, which are, both of them are just baskets of stocks with different rules, but effectively the same companies. So yes, so as you can see, I sent most of my money to the S&P 500, which is the top of 500 companies by market capitalization, aka the 500 largest companies in the United States. And that is usually a good bet for growth stocks because those companies have gotten that way because they have been managed well and are usually household names and are unlikely to do particularly poorly on the whole. Of course, if the entire market is down or the economy is bad, then yes, they will also do poorly as well. But they also have the potential to grow more than, say, small cap stocks or stocks from smaller companies. So I like to put a good amount of money in that. And then I like to buy a few individual stocks. So I read the financial news basically every day. So I have some inkling of what's going on in the markets and the world, and with that information I choose to buy stocks that I believe in or believe have potential based on the news and what's going on in the world. So far I have not discovered any unicorns that way, and I don't know how you would necessarily do that. Some people are just lucky. If you're willing to go all in, you could do that. You can make a lot of money. If you're willing to put, like, say, your life savings into Tesla years ago, then you would have made lots of money. However, I'm not the type of person that could put their entire life savings into anything. So there's that. But yeah, so that is basically my investing philosophy. And the Roth IRA is the only account that I front load, as in put all of the money that I can put in there in the beginning of the year. Other accounts are loaded on a monthly basis. So 401k, 403b, and then the HSA, those are all based on paychecks. Every month they get funded. And then even my individual brokerage account as well, that gets funded on a monthly basis. So yeah, so normally everything else is a monthly basis besides my Roth IRA. My Roth IRA has done pretty well in comparison to other funds that I have or other types of funds. And I think it's basically just the allocation of the stocks and nothing else. There is a theory about front loading stocks, how sometimes that can allow you to be in the market longer and therefore you have more potential for growth. But I'm not sure that that makes a difference from dollar cost averaging, which is to put it in there at increments throughout the year. So choose whatever way you like to, but this is one way you can do it for simplicity, or if you believe that having the money up front in there can lead to greater returns, or if you just want to not have the money in your possession because you might spend it, that's another thing as well. So that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you found some value in it. Let me know how you fund your Roth IRA. Do you have a Roth IRA? Any questions about IRAs or anything like that, of course leave them below and I'll get back to you. See you next time.